Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Hobby Dude 007 channel. Today, while we have Barracuda parts drying, I thought I would do a quick product review on plastic performance products. If you're not familiar, it's a lot of race car stuff, both asphalt and dirt, so stick around, we'll take a look. Okay, first off, big thanks to Mason's Hot Rods and Hobbies for furnishing the products for us to review today. Plastic Performance Products has been around for quite a while here in the Southeast. I don't know of too many hobby shops I've ever been in that don't carry their products, and I know a lot of the main retailers online carry them as well. When it comes to race car stuff, this stuff is well researched. It's right on. It's 25th scale. Good stuff. Well, first of all, let's take a look. This is the 50s and 60s 6-lug Chevrolet 7.5-inch wheel. I really never thought about the 6-lug race cars or the 6-lug cars way back in the day, but they did run them, and these things are really cool. Next, and this is one of my absolute favorites. I use them on about everything because the dish is deep. Really good. 60s and 70s Holman Moody style 10-inch wide wheels, and I'll get my Daytona tire here, and you can see, we'll look at the tire in a minute, but you can see the depth of the wheel itself. Really good stuff. But these I use on anything from the 60s and up to about 71, I think, 72, somewhere in there. But these things are very, very well done. And by the way, all of these wheels are injection molded plastic. Good stuff. Next is the 70s slotted wheels. And these things chromed look great. And again, they're injection molded plastic. And they, of course, come with the fronts and the backs. And then last in the wheels that I have right now anyway is the 60s and 70s 11-inch wide, the wide fives basically. The stuff you'd see on your local Saturday night racetrack cars, as well as some of the modifieds. Even a little bit more modern modifieds even ran these for quite a while. And I'm sure there's still some guys that run those as well. Well, let's get into some tires. Now, a few things about the tires. First of all, they come out of the package. One wall of the sidewalls is a high gloss, so the decals go on. And by the way, they do come with the decals, whether it's Firestone, Goodyear, Hoosier, McCrary, whatever. And as we get into each one, I'll show you some of those decals too. But you see the gloss on there, so you can do that, then dull coat it. This is one of these 60s and 64, which are very similar to the 65 through 69 tread pattern, but I hope you can see that. But the tread pattern is right on, the width is right on, really good tires. Next, we've got the 65 through the 69 Goodyear style, and like I was saying, in addition to, you see the tires there, that awesome tread pattern, and the decals. And by the way, the decals are made by Yesterdays. I'm sure many of you remember that. You've got the white Goodyear lettering and the blue ring, or the blue streak ring for it. And that comes with every set. I have used these decals quite a few times, and as you saw on my Daytona tire, they really look good. Next, I'll create a pile over here. We've got the Firestones. Now the Firestone tire has a little bit, and this is the 65 through 69 Firestone. You see the pattern on that tire is a little bit different. I'll get a little bit closer, maybe you can see that a little better. A little bit different, and the decals with this are really cool. I've primarily only built, and this is the gold ring with the gold lettering. I usually just use the Goodyears, but after looking these things over, I might have to try these out. But really sharp stuff, and like I said, if the Yesterday's decals are spot on. They're great quality. Really good. And then lastly, and I've had that tire out over here, was the 70 through 74 Goodyear. And that's the one I was just showing you there just a minute ago. Let's see if I can get that pattern up here. And again, these things have that nice glossy sidewall, and the Goodyear decals. Don't know if you can see them, but anyway, so really good stuff. Next, let's get into some modified asphalt tires. Now, the cool thing with all of these modified tires is, we'll start off with this one. This is the Goodyear 15-inch, and I've got one out over here. Hopefully I can get it where you can see the wear dots that are in the wheel. Well, hopefully. Get it up here. There we go. There we go. You can see the wear indicator dots, and there are five all the way around the wheel. As we go around, you'll see another row, and then another row. So, like I said, there's five all the way around the wheel. You got that nice high gloss that comes right on the tire, ready for the decal and some dull coat. Again, that's the Goodyear, and of course it has the Goodyear decals. Then we've got the same tire basically, but this is the Hoosier, so it would have the Hoosier decals with it. And then next, we've got the M&H Racemaster. This is the only one. Now, by the way, they do the M&H Racemaster in other widths as well. So these things are really good. And you can see that's the same one that we just looked at there with the wear indicators all the way around. M&H Racemaster, and then we've got the Firestone, same tire. Actually, the Firestone is not. This one is really unique. When he first came out with it, I wasn't sure, but it's really good. And I did not open one of these, but you see hopefully you can see that tread pattern that's on the Firestone there. Hopefully you can see that. I'll get a little closer there. And the unique thing is the left front wheel is a little bit smaller in diameter. So very accurate for what it is for the older modifieds. But great tires. And let's get into, these are more like the Sportsman, Bush, ASA tires, kind of in that era. And the cool thing I like about these, I really like, is, now these are the McCrary's. And I've got one of the tires out. Even with these and the more modern NASCAR tires, you notice those wear indicators, and there's five all the way around the wheel. And I don't know if I'm getting where you can see them or not. There they are. The five wear indicator stripes all the way around. There's the injection. There's another one. And another one. All the way around. But these are wider. They're, like I said, more for the ASA and the Bush and Sportsman series from years ago. Same tire in the Hoosier. American Racing, which has a little bit different, I don't want to say the tread pattern, but it's a little bit different. I don't know how to describe it, but it is. But it's got the decals for American Racing. And then you've got the 10-inch, more like your regular stock car wheel, and it's got the wear indicators all the way around. And again, all of these things have that nice glossy finish on the top, so your decals apply real well, and then just dull coat them. And then the early 70s 11-inch, which you saw on a lot of the older cars, and this is the Hoosier vintage asphalt tire. Now, as far as vintage goes, hopefully you can see that, get it over here where maybe you can see that tread pattern. Yeah, there we go. You can see that tread pattern on. But this is a vintage asphalt tire by Hoosier. And these, I don't have a set of these, so I'm going to have to, when I got my NASCAR license, that was in that era that we were tinkering with. So I might have to look into that and play with that one a little bit too. And then, of course, oh, and I love Harry Gant's car on there. 60s and 70s late model Sportsman Firestone tires. I was very familiar with these. And these have just that Firestone asphalt, like the Hoosier. They have just a slight pattern to them. Similar to the Hoosier, but it is different. But good stuff. Now we're going to get into some of the really meaty ones here. And that's the serious modified tires, like this thing I showed you a while ago. I'll give you an idea. This is 25th scale, and it is, I'm going to grab a 24th scale tire. Now this is a 24th scale monogram tire. This is a 25th scale, and you can see, putting them side by side there, how much wider that 25th scale is than the 24th scale. Of course, this is not a modified tire. This is just a stock car tire. But that's a big chunk of meat right there, so to speak. And all of these are the modified tires for dirt. I do want to touch on the dirt here for a minute. You got two different patterns in the dirt. You've got the squared off dirt pattern. And by the way, these things are the same width as the asphalt. You've got the square pattern, which is this one. And I'm hoping you can see that. There we go. The square pattern on the dirt tire. And a big footprint there, as you can see. And then you've got the slanted, or angled, I guess is the best way to put it. So you've got the angled tread, so instead of everything just being cut one way, there we go, you've got them at an angle. And that leaves a huge footprint as well. And then the last two are, and what I didn't say was that one is, that's the Goodyear, so the decals for Goodyear are in there. These are the Hoosier. These are, oh, I got this one open. The square pattern again on the modified, which is that one, and that's the McCrary decals. I don't know if you can see them, but the McCrary decals that go with those. And again, the decal quality, it's yesterday's. It's really, really good. And then these are the slanted in the Hoosier. And plenty of decals. And again, I hope you can see them. Plenty of decals for the Hoosier as well. Now, in addition to the tires and wheels from these different eras, Plastic Performance Products also carries a few other little oddball things. Now, I have used these many times. This is just a generic roll cage, and I've taken some evergreen and some Plastruct and built the sides into it. But these are just generic older roll cages. But talk about a great starting point. You've got your instructions there. The padding is molded in. Again, it's injection molded. Really good stuff. And the other thing that David has, by the way, those things retail, I think, for $6. So it's affordable stuff. And the next thing is the 70s and 80s string and ribbon type window nets. Now, if you remember when the window nets first came out, they had some of the teams ran that broad type, more like this, a little bit closer to what we see today. But a lot of the teams ran these so the drivers could see through them a little easier. So it's kind of like string and ribbon through there. But the really unique thing about this set is these things, let me cut one off here. Well, if I can figure out where I left an X-Acto. I got the whole bench covered up here. Anyway, even in the instructions, these are not, they're injection molded, but they're not made like the regular plastic, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Well, Well, there's an X-Acto right there. The cool thing with these window nets is, and the first time he told me about these, I thought, what? But not only do they have that good era look for the early 70s, but check this out. They're flexible. Is that not cool? So you can, if you wanted to, you could have that glued in, and the instructions on the back even tell you to sand your little spot so you can get the glue to hold. They recommend crazy glue, but and then you can just, well, let me try this. Roll that thing right over and right down. Well, that's a little big, but you get the idea. You can just roll that right over. So they're flexible, and they do have that proper look for the era. Really good stuff. Another thing is, and I don't have, is Dave's line of decals. Plaster Performance Products carries a huge line of decals for vintage race cars. I know Ralph Earnhardt's, and the quality is off the hook. It is really, really good stuff. Any questions? Give me a shout. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. I saw two things as I was reviewing this today before I started that I didn't know. So, great stuff. Give me a like if you enjoyed it. You learned something. Please subscribe. You want to help out the channel? We'd appreciate it. Have a great one, and we'll see you in the next video.